Now, while the media can't really bring themselves in many cases to report about themselves very, not in a nonpartisan fashion, and they can't find the courage to face that their lowering popularity is actually their own doing, they continue to prove why people don't trust them. Look at the feeding frenzy over that chick, Omarosa, whose explosive recordings are just smoke and mirrors to anybody that has more than 2 brain cells to rub together. She got fired. She recorded it. The explosive revelation is that she got fired. And now there's a new explosive revelation. She says the rumors of the recording of President Trump saying the N-word while on the set of The Apprentice, she says her proof isn't the recording itself because that would be too on the nose. Instead, it's a recording of people talking about the recording. And it was obtained by CBS. Listen.
I'm trying to find out at least what context it was used in to help us maybe try to figure out a way to spin it.
Patton then described a conversation she had with then-candidate Trump about making the slur.
I said, well, sir, can you think of any time that this might have happened? And he said no.
Well, that's not true.
He goes, how do you think I should handle it? And I told him exactly what you just said, Omarosa, which is, well, it depends on what scenario you're talking about. And he said, well, why don't you just go ahead and put it to bed? I don't know what the scandal is. No, he said it. He's embarrassed.
At no point in her super explosive recording does anybody seem to have ever heard of this alleged recording. And Trump said that he didn't say it, which means it was a conversation of conjecture. I mean, honestly, it's people talking about how there may be a recording. They're not even sure. I feel like Mugatu and Zoolander. Like, am I on crazy pills? What's happening here? We've already seen the news go over this alleged recording over and over and over and over again. Is the recording of those conversations proof that it exists? Of course not. This is nothing, but there's wall-to-wall coverage. By the way, evidence only matters when the legacy press decides it does. Oh, I want to take you all the way back for just a moment. Back to 2008, shall we? Because do you remember the LA Times, which actually, the LA Times was actually teasing people about this. There was the whole story that a recording existed of Barack Obama, who was a state senator at the time. He went to some huge dinner that was honoring Rashid Khalidi, who was the spokesperson for Yasser Arafat, and there were a bunch of anti-Semites and super terrorist-y people that were at this big dinner in Chicago, and Bill Ayers was there, and all of the usual suspects, And there was video of it. There was video of all of this. Not only video of apparently Barack Obama praising Rashid Khalidi, but there was video of him standing there tacitly by, nodding his head in approval as they were celebrating this guy, talking about how amazing he was, while everyone was saying some pretty anti-Semitic things and some pretty bashing America things, et cetera, et cetera. And so many people confirmed the existence of this. And the LA Times confirmed that it existed. And then they said, but too bad, we're not releasing it. That's pretty much, just to boil it all down, exactly what happened. It's amazing how the media is very situationally concerned when it comes to recordings of people saying things. Because as much as the press protected Barack Obama, and networks and Hollywood protected Barack Obama, they are completely 180 for Donald Trump, and that if something existed, it would have already been out there. It would have been turned into a trillion meme iterations. That's what would have happened. And then don't forget, and I was a kid when this went down, but I remember the wall-to-wall coverage. Do you remember Linda Tripp and Monica Lewinsky? When I was going to school in the morning, all I heard were Talking News on the Today Show and all the other shows that my mom watched in the morning, bashing Linda Tripp. How dare she surreptitiously record these conversations between herself and Monica Lewinsky, OMG, except they didn't say that at the time. And then in the evening when I was coming home and I would be doing homework, that's all I would hear day in and day out, was people bashing Linda Tripp over recording Monica Lewinsky, because ultimately it ended up getting Bill Clinton into further trouble. It's really just very situational how the media approaches this particular issue. The bottom line is that if such a recording existed, it would be out there, just like if any evidence actually existed of the trillion or so things that either legacy press or Hillary Clinton supporters accused the president of existed. It would have already been out there. Don't you think they probably would have produced it before the election to stop the election? Yeah, they tried and failed.